There are two versions of Plants vs. Zombies 2 that have ever been released, being the international release of Plants vs. Zombies 2 and also the exclusive version released to China. And while both of these versions are actually really different from each other, as well the Chinese version has tons of exclusive plants that the international release doesn't have. So yeah, today I'm going to be comparing a few different plants from each game and seeing which one is better. And the way I'll be ranking these plants is based off of their stats. And while this will only be the level 1 stats, as well leveling up the different plants will give them much different abilities and make them just a lot better, so I think it's better to just compare them at level 1. But yeah, starting off with the first comparison, we have Mega Gatling Pea versus Gatling Pea. Now, the international release of the game never actually got Gatling Pea, instead we got a Mega Gatling Pea. And while both of these plant stats are actually really similar, as though they both cost very similar amounts of sun, as though the Mega Gatling Pea costs 400 sun, while the normal Gatling Pea costs 375 sun. And while both of these plants take 5 seconds to recharge and deal the same amount of damage. But one thing that definitely does make the Mega Gatling Pea a lot better is, well, it has a random chance to actually use plant food. So yeah, randomly when you're using this plant, it can actually start using plant food on its own, which is a really good thing that the other Gatling Pea can't do. But yeah, besides the fact that the Mega Gatling Pea can use plant food and it costs 25 more sun than the normal Gatling Pea, they're basically the exact same plant, as well both plants shoot 4 peas at once, and besides that, every single other one of their stats are the exact same. So yeah, both of these plants are definitely good, but mainly just because of the plant food ability, I will have to say that Mega Gatling Pea is just slightly better. And while that's really only because of the plant food ability, as well they literally deal the exact same amount of damage and basically are the exact same plant. So yeah, this is definitely a really close one. They're definitely both really good plants, so I would definitely recommend using them. For the next comparison, we have the normal Snapdragon versus the Thunder Snapdragon. Now, both of these plants cost the exact same amount of sun, except the Thunder Snapdragon takes 5 extra seconds to recharge. But one thing that definitely makes up for that is that it deals a ridiculous amount of damage. As though the Thunder Snapdragon could deal up to 250 damage, but the normal Snapdragon could only deal up to around 30 damage. So yeah, obviously the Thunder Snapdragon is just a lot better with damage. And while the Thunder Snapdragon is actually a lot more long range than the normal Snapdragon, as well, it actually shoots electricity. So it's actually sort of similar to the electric pea shooter, as well, but shoots a ball of lightning, and when it hits zombies, it deals a ridiculous amount of damage, and also to all the zombies around it. So yeah, not only does it deal 250 damage directly to the zombie it hits, all the zombies around it will also get 100 damage dealt to them. So yeah, I think it's quite obvious here that the Thunder Snapdragon is just a lot better than the normal Snapdragon, as though the normal Snapdragon doesn't really deal that much damage. It's also only close range, so you can't kill zombies from far away, so yeah, the Thunder Snapdragon is overall just a lot better. For the next comparison, we have Cabbage Pole versus the Bud Pole. Now, the Bud Pole actually costs double the amount of sun and also takes double the amount of time to recharge, as well the Cabbage Pole costs 100 sun and takes 5 seconds to recharge, but the Bud Pole costs 200 sun and takes 10 seconds to recharge. But one thing that kind of makes up for it is that the Bud Pole deals 100 damage while the Cabbage Pole only deals 40 damage. And the Bud Pole also just attacks slightly faster than the Cabbage Pole, as well the Cabbage Pole shoots a cabbage every 3 seconds while it takes only 2.5 seconds for the Bud Pole to shoot. And well, another thing that just makes the Bud Pole a lot better than the normal Cabbage Pole is that it actually bounces off zombies. As well, the buds that are shot at the zombies bounce off different zombies and onto the others, so yeah, it deals a lot more damage to just a lot more zombies. So it's definitely much more effective when it comes to that, as well, but you actually hit multiple zombies at once with a single bud. So yeah, the Cabbage Pole obviously isn't as good as the Bud Pole, as well. The only thing that it has going for it is that it costs less stun and also takes less time to recharge. But the Bud Pole definitely makes up for that as well, but deals much more damage and also could hit multiple zombies at once, so it's definitely more worth it. So yeah, overall, with all the stats, Bud Pole is definitely just 10 times better. For the next comparison, we have Ackee versus Mischief Radish. Now, the biggest difference between these two plants is that Ackee only costs 175 sun, while the Mischief Radish costs 425 sun. And while both of them take the exact same amount of time to recharge, the Mischief Radish deals 500 damage, which is a lot more than the Ackee. As well, he only deals 60 damage, so yeah, that's 440 less damage, so yeah, it's definitely just much weaker. So even though the Mischief Radish costs a lot more sun, it kind of makes up for it as well. 500 damage is a lot. Especially because it bounces off of multiple zombies, as though both of these plants do the exact same thing, as though they shoot something and it bounces off multiple zombies, which deals a good amount of damage. And well, another good thing about the Mischief Radish is that it actually shoots extremely fast. And well, it actually takes Aki a bit longer to attack than the Mischief Radish, which makes it just a lot better. So yeah, even though the Mischief Radish costs a lot more sun, it is overall just a lot better, as well, it shoots faster and also deals a lot more damage. So yeah, both of them are definitely good plants, but overall the Mischief Radish is just a bit better. Next up we have Starfruit versus Angel Starfruit. Now for the sun cost, the Starfruit costs 150 sun, while the Angel Starfruit costs 225 sun, and for the recharge, Starfruit takes 5 seconds to recharge, while the Angel Starfruit takes 7.5 seconds to recharge. So overall, they both have pretty similar stats in terms of sun and recharge time, as well the Angel Starfruit just takes a little bit more. And while they also deal a similar amount of damage, as well the Angel Starfruit deals 35 damage, while the Starfruit deals 20 damage. And well, it makes sense that the Angel Starfruit deals slightly more, as well it costs slightly more sun, so it ends up evening out. Now, one feature that makes the Angel Starfruit actually a lot better than the Starfruit is that it can actually rotate. Meaning that if the Angel Starfruit can't hit a zombie, it'll rotate so it is able to hit a zombie, which actually makes it a lot better than the Starfruit. As of a lot of the times, Starfruit isn't able to hit certain zombies, as though they're in a spot where the Starfruit can't hit them, but making it movable makes it just a lot better. But yeah, honestly, just because of that moving factor, I will have to say that the Angel Starfruit is just slightly better. But honestly, if it wasn't for that feature, I would say that the Starfruit is better, as well, but the Angel Starfruit only deals 15 more damage, but it takes more sun and also more recharge time, so it honestly kinda evens it out. But the fact that it could rotate just makes it a lot better than the Starfruit, so yeah, but if it wasn't for that rotate feature, it probably wouldn't be as good. Next up we have Electric Current versus Icy Current. Now both of these plants cost the exact same amount of sun, being 150 sun, but the Icy Current takes 5 more seconds to recharge, being at a time of 15 seconds. Now the Electric Current actually deals 50 damage, while the Icy Current only deals 30 damage. But the Icy Current actually does have more toughness, meaning that it takes longer for zombies to eat the Icy Current, while the Electric Current takes just slightly less time. But one thing that does make up for the Icy Current's longer recharge time and less damage is that it actually slows down the zombies. As it slows down the zombies basically the exact same way that the Snow Pea does, as when they're walking through the Icy Currents, when you connect them, they slow down a lot. So if you make multiple rows of the Icy Currents, you could basically freeze the zombies and make it really hard for them to get out of it. And well, another feature of the Electric Current that's actually different from the Icy Current is that the Electric Current could actually push back zombies. As of every once in a while, it would just push back a zombie or two just around a half a tile backwards. Which really isn't a lot, but it is still a bit more than the Icy Current could do. But yeah, both of these plants are very close, but I would have to say that the Electric Current is just slightly better. And I just mean like 1% better, as well basically both of them are the exact same, but Electric Current is just slightly better, mainly just because it deals more damage and has a less recharge time. And while Icy Current could be better in some situations, but overall Electric Current just works in more situations. So yeah, this is definitely a very close comparison, but Electric Current is just a little bit better. For the next comparison, we have Chomper versus Dino-Roar Grass. Now, the Chomper costs 150 sun and takes 5 seconds to recharge, and the Dino-Roar Grass costs 75 sun, but it takes 20 seconds to recharge. So yeah, this takes an extremely long time to recharge for whatever reason, so 20 seconds compared to basically every other play in the game is a really long time. And while the Dino-Roar Grass could eat multiple things at once, but after it eats a certain amount of things, it takes 20 seconds to recharge so it can start eating things again. But one thing that does make it just slightly better than the Chomper is that while it's recharging after it eats the zombies, it actually shoots goo at the zombies to slow them down. And well, another good thing about the Dino-Roar Grass is that it has 1500 toughness, which basically means it'll take forever to have a zombie eat it. So yeah, it'll take a very long time for a zombie to eat this plant, as well 1500 toughness is really only in plants like Walnut. So yeah, that's another good thing that just makes it a lot better than the Chomper. As well, the Chomper can eat less zombies, and it takes 17 seconds to recharge after it eats the zombies, so yeah, it'll take a while to recharge, and especially because it doesn't really have that much toughness, meaning that it could get eaten really easily. And well, unlike the Dino Grass, it can't use anything like goo to defend itself, so yeah, it basically just has to sit there and get eaten by the zombies while it's recharging. So yeah, due to the very long recharge time, it honestly just makes it not worth it to use Chomper, as well he could get eaten very easily. And well, honestly, Dino Grass just really isn't that good of a plant in general, but it is just slightly better than Chomper, as well it does take a long time to recharge, but at least it could defend itself. For the next comparison, we have Jack-O-Lantern versus Fire Gourd. Now, they both cost very similar amounts of sun, as though the Jack-O-Lantern costs 225 sun, while the Fire Gourd costs 200 sun. But the recharge times are actually much different, as though the Fire Gourd only takes 5 seconds, but the Jack-O-Lantern takes 20 seconds to recharge. Which already off the bat just makes it a lot worse, as well. It takes 20 seconds to recharge, which is a really long time, especially in Plants vs. Zombies. And well, another downside about Jack-O-Lantern is that it only deals 300 damage, while the Fire Gourd deals 315 damage, meaning that the Fire Gourd is cheaper, takes less time to recharge, but yet also does more damage, meaning that the Jack-O-Lantern overall is just a really bad plant compared to it. As though the Jack-O-Lantern costs more, takes a longer time to recharge, but yet deals less damage, meaning that it's overall really not that good compared to the Fire Gourd. And while they both take around 5 seconds to recharge after they use their attacks, as well they can't shoot fire forever, so it takes around 5 seconds for both of them to recharge. So yeah, the Fire Gourd is clearly the better plant here, as well. The only thing that's slightly better about the Jack-O-Lantern is that he can attack just for slightly longer. For the next comparison, we have Snow-Pea versus Cryo Shroom. Now, they both cost very similar amounts of sun, as well the Snow-Pea costs 150, while the Cryo Shroom costs 175. They also both take 5 seconds to recharge, but the Cryo Shroom actually deals 20 more damage than the Snow-Pea. And well, an interesting thing about Cryo Shroom is that he actually takes time to level up. As well, very similarly to Sunshroom, once you place him down, he's really small and doesn't deal that much damage. But over time, it grows into a larger plant, and well, he could actually get to be a really strong plant near the end. So yeah, if you place him right at the beginning of the round, he'll actually be really good, as well he'll grow up fully by around halfway through the level, so yeah, he'll be able to do a lot of damage. But another downside about the Cryo Shroom is that he actually takes 3.5 seconds to attack each time, which is a lot slower than the Snow-Pea, but it does deal slightly more damage, but I don't really know if that's worth it or not, as well 3.5 seconds is a while to recharge an attack. And while both of these plants freeze the zombies the exact same amount, so there's no real difference between those two factors, as well they both do a good job freezing the zombies. But yeah, overall, I feel like Snow-Pea is just slightly better than the Cryo Shroom, as though the Cryo Shroom takes a while to get big and actually to start dealing a lot of damage. As well, when you first place him down, he deals a lot less damage than his maximum, so yeah, at first he's really not that good. And while he also attacks pretty slowly, so by the time Snow-Pea shoots 2 Ps, he'll only be able to shoot 1, evening out the damage. So yeah, this is a very close round, but I would say that Snow-Pea is actually just slightly better. Next up, we have Wasabi Whip versus a Gave. Now, for the Wasabi Whip, he costs 150 sun, but a Gave costs 325, and a Gave also takes 2.5 seconds longer to recharge. But one thing that does make up for that is that he deals a lot more damage than the Wasabi Whip, as well the Wasabi Whip only deals 40 damage. But a Gave deals 200 damage, meaning that it was overall just a lot better than the Wasabi Whip. But another thing that kinda makes it worse is that it takes 3.5 seconds to attack again. Meaning that after it hits a zombie once, it'll take 3.5 seconds for it to hit again. Which is actually a long time, especially because this plant is meant to be a close range plant, meaning that it basically has to kill the zombie in one hit or it'll start getting eaten. And it doesn't really have a higher toughness than most plants, so yeah, it's just really not that good overall, as well as very slow at attacking. And by the time it's able to recharge his attack, the Wasabi Whip would probably be able to kill a zombie, as well he attacks very quickly. So yeah, mainly just because of his high sun cost and also slightly longer recharge time and attack time, I would have to say that the Wasabi Whip is just slightly better. So yeah, if they lowered that recharge time with the attack, it would actually be a lot better. Moving on, we have Pepper Pole versus Dragon Fruit. Now, the Pepper Pole costs 200 sun and takes 20 seconds to recharge, which is a really long time. And well, especially compared to the Dragon Fruit, as he only costs 150 sun, he takes 5 seconds to recharge. So yeah, right off the bat, the Dragon Fruit is just better, as he costs 50 less sun and also takes 15 less seconds to recharge. Meaning that in the time that you could place one Pepper Pole, you would be able to place 4 Dragon Fruits, which right off the bat just makes the Dragon Fruit just a lot better. And while they both deal the exact same amount of damage, meaning that the Pepper Pole just makes it even more useless, as well the Dragon Fruit could literally deal the exact same amount of damage for less sun and less recharge time. And while the only thing that the Pepper Pole has going for it is that the Dragon Fruit takes 4 seconds to actually attack. Meaning that is even worse than the Agave that we looked at, as well that took 3.5 seconds, but this plant takes 4 seconds to attack once. Which kind of completely changes everything, as well it only deals 30 damage, meaning that it's just really not worth it. As well, even though it hits multiple zombies at once with the Dragon Fruit, as well, he'll basically hit all the zombies in a 3x3 radius. It's only 30 damage, but it takes 4 seconds to be able to attack again. But overall, I would still have to say that the Dragon Fruit is just slightly better, and I just mean like a little bit. And well, especially because it only deals 30 damage, it's just not really worth it. And well, if it wasn't for the Pepper Pole's 20-second recharge time and they just lowered it a little bit, I would have to say that the Pepper Pole would probably just be a little better. But yeah, this was a very close comparison, but I would have to say that the Dragon Fruit is just a little bit better. So yeah, those were all the comparisons. Here's the score on the screen right now to show you which game did better. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you agreed or disagreed with my list, comment down below, and you could even make your own list if you wanted to. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like and subscribe, and yeah, have a great day.